Hello, long time no see. So today we are going to learn suture. Hook up all our pieces. Once you've ticked it all let's stitch it up. We've been on holiday for 2 days, so there was no update for 2 days. Thank you for waiting for me. So now we are in this episode. I'll teach you how are we going to sew our fat bunny out. Well, let's get our bodies out first. Then find your 2 arms. Find the 2 arms. Well, if I'm stitching it usually ends up in one of the underside of the little You find him the middle of each leg. After we set him up, take out one of our needles. Put the thread through him. Alright, so the thread later works. Once it's in there, you have to watch your body. Let's split the front and the back like this. Without the seams, it's our front. Like if there's a joint here, it's the opposite put of the tails in the back and put our arms in the right place. Adjust the position of its position. Okay, when we're done adjusting, we found the insertion point. Put it right through. Remember when you went through, it was half a stitch, not the whole order. Alright, let's get it through again. And then you go sew it up, and then this arm works. You guys just sew it up on your own. Okay, something like that. We have our arms stitched up. I sewed it back and forth twice. Just come over and once, then go over it sew again. It twice. And then how do you hide it? It's actually very easy to hide. You put it right on our cotton. The flower then comes out of this from underneath this body. Twist it from back to back. And then hide it. Just slowly lead the wire to the bottom. Get to the bottom. Then we can disconnect. Like basically this way one of our arms is like if we had wire in it. It can bend at will. Bent at will, there's no problem trying to lift it up. So you have to adjust this for yourself. Then the other side of the arm. The same way. Same approach. You sew it up on your own. We have a collar on the lower part of the bib. Well, that way our arms are sewn up. And then the next we sew his little head on. Same approach. Put our line up. Just cut the head down. There's gonna be a lot of long lines left. Then what? Take the suture needle out and put it when through. The stitches are done, there's a problem with that. There's just a lot of sisters saying same way to sew the head and but the seams are crooked, aren't they? Then maybe when you were sewing, I didn't go looking for the right needle. Actually, when we were looking, because everyone does it differently. He stitched the back of a thread. Here have some straight ones. Some of them might start to lurch on this side. Right. So when we were closing up, if you are already connected, the place has been crooked. But what if you want to sew it back up? In a case like this, you can start by getting one of our suture needles. Come make it. Find the right face. Look for a spot right in the middle. Find the positive. Then give it a choice of needles. Choose the stitch right in the middle so I can mark it. Then words. It's the same with our bodies. Find the front of Find it right in the middle. And then what do you do with it? My needle is a little crooked. Why do you give it to him a needle right in the middle? Put the needle in because of my words. If you do it my way. To carry out a crochet words, your back should look exactly like mine. It's exactly the same. I just don't say it's crooked. The neat kind. What if you don't follow my tutorial? There might be a bit of a lag behind you. It's crooked. This is normal. Because when I started, some of the previous dolls were crocheted too. Alright, let's get back to business. Once we find ourselves in the middle, then we can choose to insert the needle. Like in here, what we are going to choose is a half stitch entry. Instead of the whole thing, just hook it. If we opt for a half stitch, it will be more obedient. Connection would be even better. Okay. So we do it the same way. Find the front. Then give it a transfer. Turn the whole thing over to the back. Let's go where the first stitch was on the head. It's half a needle, the outer half of the head, and then pass it through first. Suture is actually a more patient art. And then if you make a good mark with this, you have to remember to watch what position
From
is
the
it. Outside to the inside to sew it up. From the outside in to sew it up. Okay, just getting started. There must be a little bit
Not
of
very,
the head.
very positive.
It's okay, it's okay. Then we pick up the outer half of the second stitch, so we can get it through. So he can get through. Let's tighten it up a little bit when we get through. Then words. Let's go back to the outer half of the second needle into the body. Should be the inner half of the body. Isn't that right? Pass it through. Same approach. Let's say when we're dressed like this. Let's fix it. Then turn to the front and see if the head is straight. What if you were sewing? You only sewed this side. It's bound to be a little crooked. That's alright. We'll do 2 more stitches. 3 you have to turn your head and look. 2 stitches just and 3 turn around and see if he's positive. Isn't it right to say that you trying to sew you right? You can pinch him like either that way, too. But you did it my way. It's gonna take 2 or 3 stitches. Turn around and have a look. 2 or 3 stitches. Turn around and have a look. Make sure you're stitching it right. After all, everyone sews one. It's just a piece you finished. They're all different from mine. That's why we have to remember to sew 2, 3, 4 stitches. Just turn around and see if that's right. Let's see if it's one. A case of the face, a situation in the face. Okay, I'm pretty much done now. Let me hold this down for a second. See, basically this head is positive. Is the head positive? Because if we sew it on this side, right, it'll be tighter. That's why we need a few stitches. Check it out. If not correct, then you can go whichever way you want. You just need to adjust the needle count. Okay, so the next step is up to you to do it yourself. Okay, the head is when it's sewn up. It works. I'm down to the last stitch on this one. After the last shot, how are we going to hide the line? We can actually follow his neck around here. Give him one of our wires to hide. Just hide it. It's coming out of the side. You can wear it a few times. Then pull it tight. Pull your hair tight. Let's see if it's right or wrong. Give him a few more laps. Okay, I think so. Okay, if you think so, we can disconnect. Then one of our hands and our head is already stitched up. The next word is our ears. Move it. Hide the thread inside. Okay, and if you have a little hand, you can bend it. One will fit the body better. Yeah, it's cute. It's a lovely body. And then there's our ears. Well, the next thing we need is to sew up our ears. Before our ears are sewn up, there's one little detail. Fold the ear in half first. Fold the bottom of it in half. Just fold it in half, and then sew it back together. That's why our ears look like this. It's very cute. It's very cute. It's the corresponding just needle pass. Just sew it on the right needle pass. Okay, once we're done stitching, both of our ears need to be sewn this way. I want both ears stitched up like this. And then where are our ears? Actually, our ear was just overhead. If you want our rabbit to be cute, we can both be overhead. If you want it to be a little cuter, can be a little bit off. Personally, I think it'll look better on top of your head. I was sewing it on our third row. This one in row 3 and 4 of this place. And then in that case we also the stitching is very good. Then we put the rabbit's words. In fact, you can see if the front and back positions are correct. It's in line with one of our arms. And 123 on the same line as our arms. Put it in this position. Then check to see if the sides are in the same position. If so, we can find a place to put the needle. It doesn't matter if he drops it on 3 to 4. You can sew it like this. Okay, and then how do we close it? Go from the left to the right, and then we're gonna cross our rabbit. This stitch of the ear. Well, so we can secure it to one of our. Above this, it's not right to fix it and to then our when one. I get here, we followed it up again with this stitch from jump it. To the other side. Jump to the other side of the needle. Okay, and then over here, we also cut from this rootstock too. From this stalk to the opposite stalk. Just a moment. After you come through, let's get it down to the bottom of this. We'll wear it until we just put the second needle on the needle, then insert the needle through the second needle eye, straight to the third pin rolled on the opposite side. Okay, and then the same way, through our third needle pass. Bring it straight here like this. Actually, this stitching method, sew it your way. Not necessarily this is my personal habit. I like it better this way as long as you can sew it on. Look beautiful. That's basically what. How can we just sew? It doesn't have to be my way. Well, if that's where the seams I told you it was one above our heads is the position between the third and fourth rows. This is correct. What happens when you sew and then the same way other ear and sew it up the same way. So here's the next step. It's up to you to do it yourself. Alright, we'll have this stitched up. After the stitches are done, our eyes and noses, I would count down above our heads the middle of lines 14 through 15. This place up here will tell you with my needle. The top line is our 14 stitches. The next line is our 15 stitches. Middle of needle 14 and row 15. Put a point in the middle. Count it from the left. Count from the right. In fact, there are 8 stitches between them. It's an bumping interval. Then words. This is our eye. Don't mark him with one of our needles, like our noses. Nose word is one line down from the one between us. Give him a couple of stitches in the middle of line 15 to 16. Straddle 2 it's stitches. About this length from here to here on the left. And then we'll go down and give him one of our mouths. Just fine. And then the next Let's words. Get the eyes first. Put it in the right place for the nose and the mouth. Let's put it in the one's place. Bring out another white thread and put our suture needle through it. Now let's get the wire first. Get the wire first from the back of our heads. Put a needle in the back of the head. Come on in front of us. And then we'll go up through here. Okay, next word. Then continue to upload. Find the marker you just made. Make sure you mark the place. Somewhere in the middle of 14 and 15. Okay, and put our one on it. To the corresponding hole position. And then the next we need to give it a on. Take this eye part. Get it through the eye area. Just let it feel like it's getting sucked in a little bit, sinking a little feeling. And then over here, I think we should still make a marker. The 3 holes you just made in the buckle are still there. Oh, it should be this side. That's right. Look over here. And then we pass it through the same way. Put it on the top of this button right here. Then you can take it away. Alright, so let's go down like this. Put it on him again. There's a stitch under the clasp that we just made. The knot has a feeling like a cross line. Just made it for him. It dented him a little. Just pull it in like this. Pull it in, and now where you put the needle, it's our middle stitch. Then go this way when you put the needle in. You have to get in the middle. Good. We don't have to pull too hard when we pull. A little bit of this hollow feeling is fine. Is there a kind of pull sag feeling can be. And if you don't think that's enough of a dent, we can do it again. We can do it again. Pull it down further. Alright, give him the same, okay. And then in this case, this sunken feeling on both sides. Right, after the feeling of a dent. And our noses too. There should be a slight dent in this position. Vertical line in the middle. It's about halfway between lines 15 and 16. Right in the middle point. And then count it down. 123 is about 3, right? Trispiculator. Give it a contraction. Let's start with this place. Cross it from here to here. Okay. Now we come through. Later words. We make sure it's right. Let's count it again. 1. Okay. No problem. To the left is not 6 stitches. Okay. No problem. We need to count down from here. Count 7 needles, then continue up through the 3rd stitch. Such methods are done so he can do something. This can have a little bit of a sunken feeling. Make your little rabbit's expression more vivid. You know, it's more vivid than words. Like me, I only need to do it once. And then we can go and put this coin of ours. Put it out. See? Although my face didn't go up, the exact location has all been given. Isn't it? When you're fixing any door, if we go one step further, your door will look more vivid. Then we'll hide the thread for him ourselves and then disconnect it. Glue the eyes to it, one of our newly secured positions. And then the next we can sew out its nose, and its mouth is up. Good one in ours. In our one, put a needle in the middle of lines 15 and 16. Didn't you just make a white line to the left of a marker needle is then go to the one on the right, and then go right under us, below the white marker line. This needle will be used to insert him, and then we just give him our triangle. Pull down a stitch. Pull a needle down to find the mouth. Give him the needle, so he can pull it down. Then we'll go sew the other side of his mouth. In this case, our expression is basically done. If you want to sew up any other expressions, it's okay too. You can do the same thing I did. Go into one, perform a suturing. It's all fine. Okay, you can use our needle. Put the lines of our mouths, its thickness to adjust it, okay? Well, in that case, our little nose and little mouth are done. If you want his nose to be bigger, we can do that too. If you want his nose to be bigger, that's fine. We can put it on the side for 2 more stitches. It's okay. Then you find it on your own. Find the location of the broken wire. Then do it yourself. Well, next thing you know, we're gonna be applying blush. What about my blush? It's just the color of the tone. Take this color from my eyeshadow tray and add this color. Give it a harmonic. You can go to one of our websites. Take a look at some nice blush. We can buy it cheap to paint our dolls. It's all fine. Okay, then we paint the words. In fact, you have a method when you apply it. Just rub it up. We find the highest spot on his face first from somewhere in the similarity middle around to give him diffusion. Okay, look at this little blush position. And then we do the same thing over here. Find a high place. Give it to him and spread it out from the middle. It's best not to wear lipstick because I see so many gems asking our comment section. I was wondering if we could use whether our or lipstick. Not. The best thing is not to use because lipstick. If you use lipstick, yours is unevenly painted. Alright, and then the next thing we can do is get tissues. Let's just make it a little easier. Get a clean brush and keep it then simple. Your blush can be done very well. Then we'll do it ourselves. Next we'll paint his ears. It's actually easier to paint your ears. Like a rookie when you put on your blush. You can apply it in small amounts. Apply blush a little more often. Don't do all that at once. Just like you this. See how little color the brush has. It's okay for you to brush slowly. A few times will make it easier to make mistakes. Hey, this little face of mine seems a little overdone. It's kinda cute, isn't it? It's kind of cute. Let's just say that's a little bit too much. A blush like ours. He can all go and give him one. It just washes it's all off. Okay. The ears are painted like this. In fact, if you want him to have depth, you can use a smaller brush instead. All the brushes I use are my eyeshadow brushes. Use my eyeshadow brush. Overlay it in the middle. Look at how deep it is. Have fun. So you want to paint different variations. We can just change the brush. Okay, look at this. There is a change in depth. Pretty is pretty. See? Then worse. Give him a little bit of our little nose. Use a smaller brush. Give him a little of that little nose. That way he'll look even cuter. Dot. Okay, when you're done painting, let's get this little apron on him and put it on. Put the reddish on him and we're done. Okay, then we're done. Hey, it's kind of like a dirty vomit feeling. Just put on some blush. That's okay. I can change this later. Wash it off when we're done anyway. One of your little just blusher. A little bit lighter. Paint it a little lighter. I got a little heavy on this one. I feel like I've been beaten lightly. This is what I'm gonna get when we're done. That's the effect. Everything else is fine. When you were applying your blusher, make sure your hands aren't too heavy. Like I hit it a little hard today, but it still feels cute. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you to our babies for support, love and attention. Thank you. Then you just let me do it. I was just motivated. So what we are going to do? I'll teach you next time. A crochet tutorial by Biggie Pig. Okay, let's call it a day. Bye, kids.